Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
One of my first recollections of listening to the radio was the Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy Show. Edgar was a vaudevillian, actor, comedian, and ventriloquist. His dummy characters included Charlie McCarthy and Mortimer Snerd.
Well, I'm going to be your caddy, Mr. Fields, and I'm going to keep score, too.
Well, would you rather I kept score, Bill?
Well, to be perfectly frank with you, Edgar, I never trusted either one of you.
Well,
What do you mean by that, Craig? I want you to know that Bergen is just an honest man, as you are. You crook, you.
You better come out of the sun, Charles, before you get unglued.
Edgar spent 50 years on radio and television. He was inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame in 1990. I caught up with Edgar in his later years. He gives some insight on how he got his start, a bit about his daughter, well-known actress Candice Bergen. By the way, he left her nothing in his will, and he gave his dummy, Charlie, $10,000. The dummy is in the National Museum of American History.
Hello to my old radio friends after many years away from it, really.
No, I certainly appreciate you getting up this early in the morning. You didn't have to do that back in the old days of radio, did you?
No, we gave our shows in the evening. It was 5 o'clock in California time, 8 o'clock New York time. So
You had one of the longest-running radio shows. You worked with W.C. Fields at that time. What kind of a guy was this guy off stage?
We got along famously. I had great respect for him because he was very, very capable. He could write. We used to write our shows together, and he could play what you wrote for him. He could do pantomime, but we never had the slightest disagreement. He wasn't known as a very agreeable man with everybody, but he didn't like yes men, and he didn't like anybody moving in on him, and of course we have a lot of that in the picture business, someone trying to get a toehold.
How much money did stars make in those days?
Well, gee, I don't know what Bill made. I know that I started out getting, I know when I went on Rudy Valley, I got around $300 a show, and then it went to $400, $500. Then it went up to, on Jason San I was getting something like $5,000, and the show would cost around $40,000 because we paid $5,000 for our guest star, some name each week, and that's the strange thing about television today. they like to pay scale, $250 or $300.
Right. Isn't that's amazing? $5,000 a program you were paid for that, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
And we paid, all the guests, well, the picture names, the stars, they would get that, and the lesser ones would get $3,000. So it was very, very, very nice, very exciting. You didn't have to block out, camera blocking, and memorize, and have idiot seats. We spent all week writing, though.
Edgar Bergen is on the air with us right now. I guess Charlie McCarthy is not the biggest star in your household anymore, though. I guess we have to say your daughter, Candice Bergen.
Yeah. Well, that's like I say on my show. For years, I was known as the father of Charlie McCarthy. Now I'm known as the father of Candice Bergen. I just can't make it on my own.
She's quite a gal. And now, does she live near you?
Well,
Charlie?
she has a. Well, it's a guest house, and she did own her own home there up on a mountain there. It was on the John Barrymore estate, and he was my neighbor for many years, when I first moved out there. So she liked it up there, but now it wasn't quite protected enough. And so she was robbed there, and so she sold it. Now she has a place, because she makes most of her pictures in Europe, so the place is closed up a good deal.
With all the rich people in that area, the Beverly Hills area, are there a lot of burglaries and robberies and things?
Well, I haven't been robbed. I guess they know I got junk or something, but...
Does Candice ever come to you for advice?
Well, yes, she did there lately, because she wanted I I encouraged her to change business managers from New York to out here to California. So we did discuss business managers, but she doesn't ask me for advice on her films and things like that because she knows that she's closer to the picture than I am, I guess.
She seems to be doing all right on her own, huh?
Yeah.
Well, no conversation with Edgar Bergen would be complete without talking to Charlie McCarthy and Mortimer Snerd, a couple of my all-time favorites when I used to listen to the radio shows and watch you on television. Is Charlie up? Yeah,
I was wondering when you were going to say something to me. I'm sitting here like a bump on a log. Well, you are the log. Now, don't start that, Bergen. There we go.
I'm sorry, Charlie. I didn't mean to ignore you. I just, I had to talk to the boss first. He is the boss, isn't he?
Well, I let him believe that, It's easier to get along with him, man. I could use a younger ventriloquist.
Okay, how about Mortimer Snerd? Is he around?
Mortimer, well, gee whiz, waking the fella up this early in the morning. Yeah, we stay up late. We did a late show last night. Of course, when I'm on the farm, I get up to do the milking. Yeah, you do the milking. You have a milking machine? No, I do the milking by hand. Oh, well, you're an important man with those cows. On the meat squirt. That was a kind of a joke if you ain't too particular.
Listen, Mortimer and Charlie and Edgar, thank you very much for being on the air with us this morning, especially this early in the morning.
Yeah, I'm going back to bed now.
Okay.
Oh, this is Mortimer. This is the Bob Bergen show. This is Mortimer on the Mortimer.
Snerd.
Snerd, yeah. I know it as well as I know my own name. I can't think of it. They sort of caught me off my guard on that one. It's Mortimer Snerd talking, and we're just kicking the stuff around here. And nice to say hello to the folks on the radiator. Yeah.
Radio.
The radio, yeah. Darn, so early in the morning.
I can understand.
Bob Berry.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Bond.